AskReddit by Drax 3012. What villain is 10x more interesting than the hero? Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York. Here's the thing. I don't give a tuppeny fuck about your moral conundrum, you meat-headed shitsack. Dr. Hannibal Lecter. Psycho killer, yes, but he's still a doctor and shall be addressed as such. Magneto. Professor X is almost a stock character, but Magneto has believable motives and genuine tragedy. Xavier is driven to redeem Eric. If Magneto is believable, then so is the antithesis, Professor X. They aren't even really enemies other than one wants mutants in power and the other wants to coexist. There are many times they join together for a common goal. Xavier believes anyone can be redeemed. Eric is a cynic. It's basically angels vs demons. Edit, Eric not Magnus. Not sure where I got that name from. Edit 2, Eric Magnus Lensher is his full name. There are times he went by Magnus. Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's hardly the villain in the books about him. Homelander. Though the boys are fantastic too. The boys aren't really saints either. We get introduced to Uncle Iroh when he's, at worst, a punch clock type of villain and get to see him become a full-fledged hero, but the man's backstory absolutely was that of a full-fledged villain. His character arc is heartbreaking and one of the most genuine times a story has ever made you feel empathy for a man who very likely is a war criminal. The angle that Iroh had visions of taking Ba Sing Se while he was a military commander for the Fire Nation, but ends up with Iroh taking Ba Sing Se away from the Fire Nation is one of my favorite plot points. Handsome Jack. Paige and Min. Should throw Vaz in there too if we're doing video game characters. Zuko from The Last Airbender. Such a well-written character with an amazing arc and personal growth. Yeah, he has one of the best villain redemption arcs in all fantasy, I'd say, because what he's up against is his own indoctrination. Dr. Doofenshmirtz. It all started when his parents failed to show up to his birth. Darth Vader, from episode IV to VI. Might be a hot take, but I prefer Anakin over Vader. Dennis Hopper in Speed. Pop quiz hotshot. Walter White. There is no traditional hero in Breaking Bad, but I agree that WW is the most interesting character in the show. Anton Chigurh. Came for this. And who the hero is debatable, but either way, Chigurh is more fascinating. Agent Smith. The scene in the first movie when he loses his cool and just wants Morpheus to tell him where is Zion so he can be done with his existence. Dr. Evil vs Austin Powers. Joker vs Batman. Batman can be a compelling character, but most stories focus on the villains more. Vincent. In Collateral. It blows my mind that the movie poster's ad said, starring Tom Cruise. With Jamie Foxx, they got that the wrong way around. But yes, I buy Tom Cruise as a murdering psychopath. He was way too good at that. Char Aznable. 3 times more interesting than anything Amuro has going on. The Sheriff of Nottingham and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Shut up, you twit. Hans Lander. LT Aldo Rain is a pretty interesting character TBF. Mr. Glass. Count Olaf. The Baudelaire orphans are not very interesting. Did you forget that the youngest can cook? And, Four Eyes can read stuff. Lord Shen from the Kung Fu Panda series. Same with Tai Lung. Loki vs Thor. Loki is overrated, no offense. He just isn't a scary or a good villain. He doesn't show the full potential of his trickster powers. He an interesting character, but not a good villain. Vaz. Good one. Coincidentally, Vaz was also more interesting than the main villain, whose name I can't remember.